guys, and welcome back. Today we're going to tackle a little crafting project that'll help you bring a little bit of the spring to your indoors. We're going to make an everlasting Forsythia bush. Stay with me. Okay guys, so for this project you really don't need a lot of supplies, but there are a few things you're going to have to dig up. So number one, you're going to want to have yourself a pair of scissors. You're going to want to have either some floral wire or maybe even some pipe cleaners. You're going to need some tissue paper. Now color is not particularly important. If you're trying to make it look like a Forsythia bush, then you want to try and have yellow or white or a combination of the two. But if you want to go for something that looks more like cherry blossoms, then use pink, or peach would be pretty, white is lovely, even a lilac lavender color would be pretty. The other thing you're going to need is a vase with some kind of material in it to hold your branch upright, and a branch. So this one I found the other day. We had quite a bit of wind and I was out walking, and this is a piece of curly willow. So I thought when I saw it, that's kind of a neat looking branch. So I picked it up and I dragged it home with me, and I thought, let's try and make a project for the folks at the senior center with that. So get your branch, and you're going to want to trim off any sort of excess branches. This one had a lot more branches coming out of it when I first brought it home, but really it was just a little bit excessive. So trim it back to some place where you like the shape and the look of it, and then use either marbles or those little glass beads, or in my case I have seashells in here, to anchor your branch into your vase so that it sits upright as you are working. Now let's get started, and I'll show you how to make the blossoms. There's a couple different ways we can do this. Okay, so there's a couple different ways you can go about making blossoms for your Forsythia branch or your blossom branch, and it just sort of depends on what your preference is. First thing you need to do though is you need to get your tissue paper prepared. And again, it really doesn't matter if it's brand new flat tissue paper like this is, or if it's stuff that you've salvaged out of a bunch of presents over the years, because actually if the tissue paper is a little bit crinkled and you kind of flatten it out, your blossoms look a little bit more ruffly and almost a little bit more realistic. So don't think you'll have to have like brand new tissue paper. But you need to take at least 3 sheets of it, and you need to lay it down, and you need to accordion fold it so that what you are ending up with is something that's about a 2-inch width. So literally, again, you're just going to back and forth fold it, accordion style, until you've got a 2-inch width. Then take your scissors and just eyeball it. You don't have to measure anything precise here, and just look down and cut again about 2 inches down. Okay. Then when you unfold your accordion, you've already got the lines delineated for where you need to cut your little strips. I'm just going to cut a couple off here so I can show you and get you started. We'll do 3. Okay. So you've got your tissue paper. Now I've got 2 yellow sheets with a white sheet sandwiched in the middle. You can use all the same color. You can use different colors. It really doesn't matter. It's sort of your preference. Then you need to take your floral wire, and you're going to want to cut probably about 4-inch lengths of floral wire. And there's no set number of blossoms that you want to have on this branch. It really has to do with your look and the aesthetic that you want to achieve. Less is more. Now, you can do this a couple different ways. So the way that I think looks best, and the way that I'm sort of going to do the majority of my blossoms, is if you take your little square and you just take scissors and you kind of slice in just a couple centimeters on either side. Only on 2 sides, parallel from each other. Okay. Then you're going to take this and you're going to kind of gather it in the middle. So it looks kind of like a mess right now, but that's all right. Take a length of your wire, put the wire around the middle of the blossom, pull the blossoms all over the wire so you can see you've got your wire hanging here, and then you're going to want to give it a little twist, and then from here you just kind of fluff it out. And that makes your little blossom. then it's very simple. You just take the tail that's attached with the wire and you take it up to your branch. You decide where you're going to put it on your branch, and you literally wrap the wire around the branch to fix it. Okay, so you've got your little blossom, you've got your wire tail. Now it's time to affix it to the branch. So just choose wherever you want your little blossom to appear. Use one hand to hold it on the branch and the other to kind of wrap the little tail around until there's no more wire sticking out. And then just give it a little fluff. And you continue, and you add as many blossoms as you think you want. They can face up, they can face down. It doesn't really matter what direction they go, okay? So that's one method for making these blossoms. Let me show you another one. Okay, so another way that you can make these blossoms, or a slightly different variation, is to just fold each one of your sections. So this is, again, 3 pieces of tissue paper stacked on top of each other. And you're just gonna fold your 2-inch section in half here, okay? And then again, we're just gonna eyeball it, and we're just gonna kind of cut a rough circle. And just kind of nip the ends all around the edges with your scissor. Okay. And you can open it up. And again, same kind of idea. Now, the thing with this is, if you do this, and then you wrap your little blossom around the center, just like we did for the last one, pull it tight and give it a twist, you're going to find that you end up with a much smaller blossom. So that may appeal to you, it may not. The other way that you can do it, and this is really basic and this is very fast, is no cutting of the edges to make them frilly. Your 3 squares of tissue paper, maybe 4, and you can literally just gather it up in the middle to form a little bow tie. And then you're going to take your little bit of wire, same thing, put the wire through the middle or around the middle, give it a pinch, give it a twist, and then you just have to kind of peel the layers apart a little bit. I find this is actually a little harder than any of the other ways, because the other ways that we've done it, the little petals kind of naturally seem to want to come apart. This requires like a concerted effort. Not that it's bad. But it all depends on the kind of aesthetic that you want out of your blossoms when you're done. So I'm going to continue making some blossoms, and then I'm going to check back with you and show you how my branch is coming together once I've got a few made. Stay tuned. And there you have it, folks. My completed ever-blooming Forsythia branch. I think it's kind of pretty, actually. I mean, you really don't know till you get right up on it that it's not an actual blossom tree. It looks kind of pretty and delicate from a distance. So hope you guys have enjoyed this little tutorial on how to bring some of the great outdoors to your indoors, and we'll talk to you again soon. Bye now.